Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to add an unlock code to your Kwikset lock. And I'm going to go over this whether you have this particular model or a similar one that might have a digital readout, or the differences if you have a Mastercode or not, how to do this. So I'm going to try to touch on all of those differences so that we can successfully add a code to whichever one of these Kwikset code locks that you have. In terms of the code that you're creating, it needs to be 4 to 8 digits long, so anything in that range. And also, typically you can add up to 16 different codes onto one lock. Most of you guys aren't going to be getting that many different codes onto one lock, but you can give different codes to different people to get access. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is open up the internals on the back. So we need to take off this door. It has a screw right here on the side as well as on the same side over here. So we need to remove those two screws with a Phillips head screwdriver. And once we slide this covering off, that's going to expose the internals. And in the center here, we have this button that we can press to enter programming mode. So like I said, this is going to be a little bit different if you have an extra layer of security of needing to enter your master code before putting in a new code. And then also if you have a digital readout here, there's going to be a little check mark button that you can press as well during this process. So I'll try to touch on that as I walk you through the steps on how to add a code. So the first example that I'm going to do here is if you don't have a master code, that extra layer of security. So what you want to do is click the program button that we were just talking about on the back. After doing that, if you have one of these locks that has a digital readout that has a little check mark, you can press that. But if you don't have the check mark, you can just head right into entering that code. After entering your code, click the lock button. You'll get that green flash and the loud buzzer that indicates that we've successfully put in a new code. To test this new code, what you're going to do is click the lock. And now we're going to try out that new code to see if it works. So I did 0000. And we can see that new code is now working. Now the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to add a code if you have a master code that is just an added layer of security on this. So it's going to be a similar process. We're going to click the program button on the back. After that, again, if you have a lock that has a check mark on it, you're going to press that. Otherwise, if you don't have a check mark, we're just going to head right into entering in that master code. So you can enter in your particular master code and then click the lock button. And if you successfully entered in that master code, then you can enter in that 4 to 8 digit new code, and then again, press the lock button at the top. And if you're successful, you'll get that green flash with a loud noise, and then that will indicate that you have added a code successfully. Some potential errors that you could run into is if you're trying to add a code that's already in your system, or if you've filled up the number of codes that are available on one particular lock. So if you've gone past that 16 that are typically allowed, then that won't work either. Some additional things as well, if it's taking you too long to go through these steps and it times out, it will fail. Or if you have a master code and you enter in that master code incorrectly, it will fail. But anytime you successfully add a code, be sure to test it before closing the door and locking it. And of course, you can do that by clicking the lock button, entering in that new code that you had entered, and then see if the lock works after that. So I hope this quick tutorial was helpful. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and consider subscribing for more content in the future.